Oh, what's going on, guys? Welcome on back to Football Therapy with me, your host, Jan. I do hope you are doing well, friend. Friday, the 17th of April, looming closer to what will only be probably another painful weekend of Premier League football. But then again, my word, let me just clear my throat. But then again, mate, maybe not. You know, maybe City dunk on Arsenal, Chelsea dunk on United, and everything good in between. Spurs lose. It could still be okay, right? Right? Anyway, look, I previewed the game already against Man United in yesterday's content, speaking about United, Chelsea, of course, referencing the protest that will take place. And I gave you details on that, so feel free to go check out the previous upload. Today, we are referencing The Athletic, the Bubaka. Of course, many of you would have seen Caicedo has agreed to sign a new deal with the Chelsea, which is great. We'll see what happens with Enzo Fernandez. Will he follow suit? Will he leave? Will he go to Real Madrid? Will Chelsea sign a replacement central midfielder? Apparently, we're even looking at Alex Scott, who does look quite good, but you know. Lots of stuff like that. There is an article on The Athletic also, Eghbali's message. Imagine my shock that he has spoken at, I think, here we go, CAA's World Congress of Sports Conference in Los Angeles. Some sort of conference. Not sporting directors speaking to fans. It's the owners swinging their so-and-sos around at conferences, at financial summit talks. You know, far away from reach from Chelsea fans and, you know, not the footballing media, because, you know, here I am. Maybe also a little shout out to Strasbourg getting to a semi-final yesterday, and some good performances there as well. All right. Let's go! Oh yeah, thanks for joining me. Thanks for liking and subscribing on YouTube, and also checking this out on Spotify and Apple Podcasts simply by searching Football Therapy Podcast. Follows and 5 stars are nice. Look at Strasbourg, yeah? Little old Strasbourg, coached by Gary O'Neill. Future Chelsea manager Gary O'Neill. But yeah, and Ciso, who I'm not sure if he's a Strasbourg player or a Chelsea player. Apparently he was signed as a Blue Coat player, which is very unsavoury, and where is football now? Getting player of the match, 2 assists and a goal, but Barco, who is coming to Chelsea, having yet another excellent game with an 8.4 rating against Mainz. Mainz, of course, beat them 2-0. In the reverse fixture at home, and then Strasbourg running right over here with 4 goals, winning 4-0. Omega came on. He missed a penalty. It was pretty tame, but he did score a nice header. Again, Chelsea-bound striker. So it's nice the likes of Penders having a good game in goal, Barco having an excellent game in midfield. Omega coming on and scoring a header. And Ciso, we don't even know what. I mean, it's interesting that he's playing as like a sort of striker in the system. But they're into the semi-finals. They could win the Conference League. That will, of course, at least guarantee them for Europa League football. And, you know, with the best, great of luck, I wish them the best of luck. Of course, a representation of their fans are coming down to London, to join the demonstration, the march, before the Man United game. Now, speaking of unsavoury, distasteful knobbers, look at this guy. This is on The Athletic, but Eghbali's message to Chelsea fans. We care. We're committed. Yeah, they care about their investors, their shareholders, and they're committed to trying to make money. So this is Liam Twomey. Should we go through, shall we? Just see if we can, just squeeze this in. Can we squeeze this in? Just so you man can see it as well. Just about. But Eghbali has told Chelsea supporters that owners Blueco are learning from their mistakes and are committed to bringing consistent success back to Stamford Bridge. Interesting how this is coming out the day before a protest march. Disaffected fans will stage a protest march ahead of Chelsea's clash with Man United at Stamford Bridge on Saturday, organised by Not a Project CFC and incorporating supporter representatives of Blueco's sister club, the aforementioned Strasbourg, in an attempt to mobilise opposition to the consortium led by Clear Lake Capital and Todd Bowley. The final stretch of the fourth season since they acquired the club from Roman Abramovich for £2.3 million in June 2022, Chelsea are sliding down the Premier League table under hedge fund, because I'm thinking about freaking Clear Lake, Liam Rosinia, and face the prospect of missing out on Champions League qualifications with a youthful squad assembled at historically vast expense. Also, a dysfunctional group of lads, you'd have to say. Speaking at CAA's World Congress of Sports conference in Los Angeles, couldn't think of a place I'd less want to be on the planet Earth. On Thursday, well, there's a few places obviously, but Clear Lake co-founder Eghbali admitted that Blueco are still looking to improve their ownership strategy. Well, thank God for that. Thank God for that. That's all I say. But reiterated that they care about maintaining Chelsea's modern standards of consistency, competing for the biggest trophies. Right. For the fans, we care. Don't feel like it, mate. We want the club to be successful. Do you? We focused on delivering the high-pitched performance. I think 6 months ago, everyone was super happy. Well, not everyone, but the mood was certainly better, you'd have to say. Results have been mixed. I'd argue they've been terrible. Disappointing more recently. There's been a full reflection on what we can do better, what we can improve on. There is a plan. We know there's a plan, Badad. Your goons, Win Stanley and Stewart, have made this very clear plan that we simply cannot escape. We reflect on the plan. We try and improve on the plan. How about you rip up the plan, bro? And tweak the plan if it's not working. I mean, a tweak is better than not touching at all. But the plan, I think, needs to be ripped up at this point. There's a couple of good elements that, you'll have my blessing to keep. But the rest I'm done with. I'm just tired. I'm exhausted. I'm dead inside from your plan, mate. Whoa. Look at this. Look at this. Can we be successful without winning? The answer is no. Really? Because the Arsenalification of Chelsea is upon us, just trying to get top four and not win trophies. We've got to win, and it doesn't mean that you're going to win every game. Fine. It doesn't mean you don't make mistakes. Fine. That you don't have downturns. Fine. But ultimately, the objective, and especially the objective at a club like Chelsea, is you've got to win. You've got to win trophies, and you've got to win consistently again. We were fortunate enough to do so last year. We've had a bit of an up and down year this year, but the objective hasn't changed. Right. Hold on one second. Can I just I'm just trying to hold on. Sorry, I just had to fix my green screen, which was killing me. We've got to win trophies again. Talk is cheap, my darling. Chet Faker. You've got to start winning consistently again. We were fortunate enough to do so last year, up and down, yada, yada, yada. A huge reason for the downturn in Chelsea's season was the abrupt departure of head coach Enzo Maresca on New Year's Day. Quote, Our policy has been no in-season changes, Eghbali added. You certainly review and hold not only the manager, but the management team, the sporting team, accountable. Oh, do you? Do you hold the sporting team accountable? It does not feel like the sporting team is being held accountable. In fact, it feels like the sporting team have been invisible, let alone accountable. But typically in the summers, not in the season. It's not a change we wanted to make, Enzo Maresca, of course. It's a change that had a bit of a negative impact in the season. Yeah, not loads, some players being upset about it and causing just disruption. When you're changing systems and personnel, and it's one we've got to fight our way out of. Well, maybe we'll know a lot more after this weekend. We might be Donald Duck, to tell you that much. He goes on. The guy looks like a friggin' mob boss. We still have 6 matches in the Premier League and the FA Cup semi-final coming up. So hopefully the story of the season hasn't been written yet. Well, so far it feels like a certain narrative has been written. And you got a lot to fight for. I agree. I do. I just don't believe in the team anymore. So they got to convince me. In my perspective, when you get punched in the face, you've got to fight back. You've got to stand up and fight. Well, you say that, but Dad, and this quote will never ring true more, whatever Mike Tyson said, everyone's got a plan until you get punched in the mouth. So you're there, blue code, the sporting hierarchy, riddled with plans and concepts, and you have been punched in the face. And I don't think there's been much fighting back. He goes on, and we will read these quotes. I think the perspective is stability. And frankly, getting that stability on the manager's side is one thing we haven't done right yet. And it's something we're striving to improve on. Just stop sacking managers all the freaking time. They bowl up at Chelsea. Well, this place ain't run very well. Sacking managers all the time. I understand how, me speaking here, I do understand how the modern financial climate of the Premier League wouldn't really work with Roman's, strategy for the last 20 years, but, it might have been tweaked. But the sort of the gall, the arrogance to be like, wow, this club's being run terribly, and then lose loads of money and lose loads of games, and be like, we're going to stick with a manager, and then just sack loads of managers. It's just a little bit ridiculous, really. It's like satirical almost. Maresca's replacement, Rosinia, has won just one of his last 6 matches across all competitions, but Eghbali confirmed the former Strasbourg boss retains the support of the board and sporting leadership. I hate that word, sporting leadership, because it just makes me think of a group of knobheads in a room somewhere with a whiteboard going, yeah, we're so clever. That I just so sorry, mate. Maybe I had a couple of jars last night. Maybe I'm less of the sympathetic inclination today. But and also someone in myself, I was on my knees for a sporting hierarchy at Chelsea. We were so severely lacking. Emenalo caught loads of strays. He was good. He wasn't perfect, but all the successful, massive sporting football club institutions had a sporting hierarchy of, of some sort of structure. But not what we've built is like some sort of monstrous, group of arrogant disruptors that aren't really getting it right, ultimately. He does speak about the gaffer, Eghbali, our fearsome leader. On Liam, we had the opportunity to work with him daily for 18 plus months, so we knew what we were getting. We think he has every attribute to be successful here. He got off to a great start. We've had a tough past 5-6 matches. I think we're behind Liam. Oh, he thinks. I think, therefore, maybe. Excuse me, I just had a breakfast. To say I think we're behind Liam, why don't you say we are definitively behind Liam? I think we're behind Liam. Question mark? No question mark. Of course, it's a results business, But we think, there's that word again, man's thinking. Man doesn't know, man thinks. We think he can be successful here long term. Chelsea's recent struggles have also drawn more criticism to their heavily youth-orientated recruitment. Eghbali signalled that the club are ready to target players equipped to make an immediate impact in this summer's transfer market. The view was to recruit and build elite players that can, frankly, be together and have that stability in the squad. Eghbali said, well, look, having a team, this is Jan talking for those listening now, not watching, there is something to be said for that continuity of an elite team. Just look at the Real Madrid team that won the 3P, and they're a lot older. So in theory, you would like, I'll just start a little bit younger, and they can go for a bit longer and win a bit more and have a golden generation. Or it backfires and you sort of get what you have now, a sort of like bereft of confidence, dysfunctional young team, a disillusioned fan base, and an up against it head coach, and also a universally hated sporting hierarchy. So, you know, you gambled and you lost, or you're losing, should I say. Okay, to quote, he goes on, the view was to recruit, yeah, that's it, sorry, I think I've already said that, together enough stability in the squad. We're still in the 40th and 50th minute of that process, whatever the heck that means. But the view is to keep, sign and retain and compensate, as in, like, give the right money to the good players, and extend some of the world's best players. And ultimately, the view was you need 8, 10, 12, 15 elite players to win, and win sustainably year after year. I think we've done a few things right. A lot of things right. I would say a few. If we're being completely fair, I'd say a few. I wouldn't say a lot. We've got to be better on a few things. I'd say that a lot. Swap those around. To add more ready-made players to part of the project. Oh. We're going to add ready-made players to take it to the next level. Pretty big. That's pretty like definitive. That's what kind of got. I mean, obviously this PR leaks right before a friggin' march and a protest. So what are the odds, eh? But you know, again, talk is cheap. At this point now, Chelsea fans will not care until they see results. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to speak with all Chelsea fans, but I've just had enough of talk. I would like more talk from those cowardly directors. They did one interview back in the day for the Telegraph for Matt Law when things were going well, and they were all smiles like, ha ha, yes, look at us. And now they're cowering in some like bunker somewhere. So he's going to sign new players, ones ready-made players to take us to the next level. We recognise we need balance. We have the world champions. We have Champions League winners. Do we? We have Reece. That's just one. Who else is in our team that's won the Champions League? We have elite young players. Some, I'd say. Experience has developed now. The team has been together for 2 or 3 years. The objective is to keep the best young players, and we've done that. Not for long. Enzo's getting out of there, bro. And there's no intention to rebuild every 3 or 4 years. You tweak the model, you improve, you learn from the mistakes. Our goal is to have elite players on the pitch, elite characters. This has been a big theme of late, mentally strong and all that. Off the pitch, that our fans can bond with, that will be at the club, be club legends for the next 10 and 15 years beyond. Again, it's easy to say all this, isn't it? I think generally we've been fortunate not getting everything right. Wait, what? I think generally we've been fortunate not in getting everything right, but we do have a core of good players, good global players. Palmer, Caicedo, Fernandes for now, Cole, Esteval, Willian, Reece James. The view is now that we're here with a great core base to add some of that experience to take the team to the next level and have consistency. That fact is not lost on us. And we're at a point where we can take that next step, hopefully in the next year and beyond. Hopefully. Well. That went on a lot longer than I thought it would. Interesting. What do we think about the comments from Big Badad Eghbali? He's been getting all the ire from the match-going Chelsea fans. All the chants and songs in the stadium are anti-Clear Lake now over Bowley. F off Eghbali, you're not welcome here. We don't care about Clear Lake. They don't care about us, etc. It's just funny how they just speak to the... I think, look, sending a message saying we've made mistakes, we want to be bad, we want to win trophies, there's nothing wrong with that. No one believes talk anymore. But do it on the freaking Chelsea website. Do it to a UK-based broadsheet paper like the Athletic or the Telegraph or something. Maybe not the Sun, or don't go on Piers Morgan or anything like that. Though I wouldn't put it past this knobber. It's always like these business conferences and stuff, like when they're far away in Los Angeles or New York or Boston or something, and they're like, we've got a big club back in London. Anyway, fine. Say what you want, but I just make the change. Buy the players, build a team, create a universally lined up mentality where everyone knows where each other stands, everyone believes in it, because we seem fractured off the pitch. We seem dysfunctional on it, and it's all pretty poor, really. You'd have to say. Now, let's land this plane. Moises Caicedo to extend his contract. Set to sign a improved contract at Stamford Bridge. Here he is. On The Athletic. The £115 million man. Set to sign a new deal. Of course, he is apparently there's a big strong link sort of trying to get Enzo Fernandez to follow. There's another article which I won't get into now, but Fernandez called up Caicedo and convinced him to join Chelsea. Was a contributing factor, of course. Both native Spanish speakers. He's like, look, come and play in the midfield with me. They're building something here at Chelsea. And, I do think Caicedo was a sort of Chelsea fan. We saw the pictures of him in a Chelsea shirt as a kid. And he is what... I know he's had a bit of a poor run, Caicedo, you'd have to say. He's not in the best form of his life. But when he's on song, he's like very strong discussion for best central defensive midfielder in the world. So to get him locked down is big. It's big. And, of course, there's connotations of what follows next with Enzo Fernandez. And, you got friggin' Badad Eghbali speaking out, saying you want to keep this core of young players. If Enzo goes, against your will, you'll look weak. But a lot will happen, and we'll learn a lot after this weekend. How much, what the attendance of the demonstration, the protest, Chelsea's performance against Man United... other top 5 rivals, how they perform. I don't think we've had necessarily an announcement on the Caicedo deal from Chelsea. I don't think they've done an official announcement. It's more Athletic news stuff. Again, you might get a news story that Enzo Fernandez is going to extend with Chelsea, sign new improved terms, and the mood starts moving around. We beat Leeds, touch wood, in the semi-final of the FA Cup, and then... Look, as much as I want to change at Chelsea, I will never... I'm one of those fans that winning comes first, If we win and the team connects with the fans again and everyone feels like they can believe, then that's the easiest option. Just win and be good and live up to the standards that is Chelsea Football Club that cannot be diluted. Anyway, let me know how you think about it. Thank you for liking and subscribing on YouTube and dropping those hype points down here. If you slide the comment section with your thumb or finger, you can hype up the video. And I'm still very, very grateful for those of you who go on Spotify, search Football Therapy Podcast, give me your 5-star reviews and follows. The same on Apple Podcasts, actually. I was on I had over 1,200 5-star reviews on Spotify, and on Apple I've got 70. That's pretty good. It was 59, so thank you for continuing to do that. Yeah, mate. And other than that, I will see you soon, hopefully, after the game, of course. Take care of yourselves. Peace.